Hello, Xander.
How's it going, DeMarcus?
I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good. This is Nick at Night. We're here with Mr. McKenna here going over
The one and only.
The one and only.
Mr. McKenna.
Legendary.
Absolutely. So we're going over just the new football stadium and like kind of how it's benefiting the team and how it's benefiting all the other programs at school as well.
Right. My first question for you is, you've worked here for a pretty long time. With having the new football field, do you feel like there's been like any changes within school spirit or just kids being able or having the privilege to use all of our new athletic facilities?
Absolutely. I take offense to you calling me old.
I didn't call you old.
Seem
call you old.
Call me old. You said
Not
I've been here. Did he not, Xander? He said I've been here for a really long time.
I think that
He could have started at like 20.
Yeah. I did. Thank you.
All right,
Appreciate
see?
that. But you said a really long time. I think it's been great for a lot of things. I think the things I didn't think about, obviously you think about the athletes first, right? And being able to use those. But what I didn't think about, and actually Xander's dad brought it to my attention, that, all the different game day things, all the different video stuff. Sawyer Bronneman's dad's a graphics guy. He came up into the booth and was looking at it, and he's like, this is going to put students so far ahead of other students in the graphic world,
Right.
If that's something you're interested in. So it really, those unintended consequences of it it's amazing opportunity for our kids.
All right.
One question I have is originally Nicolay was playing on an all grass field. Now we switched over to turf. Is there like a difference or a difference in feeling or anything like that?
Well, I would say the difference between playing on it, because I've played for 2 years on the grass, and this year playing on the turf. With our grass field, it was like better and it was more fun because people would slip and slide and things would just be a lot smoother. But the only problem with our grass field is we had to maintain keeping care of it. We couldn't practice on it. The worst thing about it though is running from an angle. Sometimes it'd feel like you're running down a hill. And the way grass fields are set up, like football fields, when it rains, there's a point. It's kind of like a very flat mountain, if I were to compare it to something. Because when it rains, the water has to go off the field, so it's kind of like a hill on each direction from the middle of the field. It's really weird.
I think the bigger things, certainly with the Rodgers injury they obviously blame the artificial turf for that. But I just read studies today that were saying that there isn't a difference between high injuries inside of the football specific inside of there. There is no difference between the grass and the artificial turf. Some ankles and foot maybe a little bit more, but as far as knees, less concussions, which is extremely important as well on artificial turf. So,
Was the field the only thing that was renovated, let's just say for the football team? Were there any new advancements in like the helmets or the jerseys or anything like that might give our players a better advantage?
No, I mean we got new helmets, but we kind of get a little new batch of new helmets every year. We have the same jerseys we had last year. No, I'd say the only really beneficial new thing we got was our field. There is a new thing with helmets. They're putting ACs inside of helmets. It's pretty cool.
Huh.
but the new equipment, which is big.
Oh yeah,
blocking,
yeah. Our new equipment stuff. Yeah. I thought you were just talking about jerseys.
Not
and
this
stuff
is
that.
overall type stuff.
No, yeah. We got a lot of new equipment bags and pads and stuff like that. So nothing is really too old that we have. Got new sleds. Everything's pretty new.
Except the counselor. Apparently I'm old.
Yeah.
Obviously, McKenna's taken it just a little bit of offense to that.
Right? Yeah.
A
I
little
don't
bit
know
of a
why.
touchy subject.
It's touchy.
I'm trying to think of any other questions I have here. Marcus, you got anything else? Or?
My question for you is, as like athletes are or the football players are playing on the field, how does it feel like being able to direct things as to being like up in the booth for our designing team or even on the field with players like holding the camera?
I mean, it's interesting because you get to be down on the field and you have like the monopod, you have the big camera, and you're trying to capture all the plays through this little lens. And then it also gives us opportunity where I'm not going to point fingers or name names, but during the Cedarburg game, we caught some interesting calls
Yeah.
on the big screen. And what's being implemented now is we're going to be able to record all of our sessions on the field side camera, where we can actually play it back and see whether these calls were valid or not
Or
valid.
definitely not.
Right.
Definitely
right.
not valid.
Yeah.
Right.
'Cause what happened on the field was crazy.
Yep, absolutely. But like getting to see everything from the booth and getting to run the board is a pretty interesting experience.
Do
But
you feel
there-
like? Sorry, continue.
But there's also a lot of pressure. Like if you mess up, if you click the wrong thing, and one player makes it like a touchdown, and you click another player that's been sitting on the bench the entire game, people will be like, "What?"
Right. Yeah.
So you're gonna have to like make sure you're on top of your game for that. It's just a whole nother like almost performance that you have to deal with.
Right, yeah, I get that. And you know, with what Mr. McKenna said earlier in the podcast of students having a like bigger lead or step into the whole designing and like that whole type of field or world, do you feel like you have like a more of a head start to compared to other students? Like not only just in Nicolay, but like around our area.
Well, just in general, this program that we have gives students a head start if they do want to go into film or design or something like that, and it gives them the tools and the materials they need. But I decided to come in early during the summer and get some more experience with the program. I also ran a JV game for practice, where I got to run the scoreboard as well as the video board, just to make sure I knew everything, and I think that's important, just to make sure you have everything down.
I think also, when you look at it, we went to the Badger game this weekend, and Coach Mo was, texting Mr. Dix about, hey, this is what they're doing at the quarter. Here's what they're doing at halftime. Here's what they're doing and all these different things. So it's really cool to see that it's all over the place, right? And everyone's thinking about how to make that game day experience better. And then that's something that you could walk right into a major college campus and be like set before you've even been on campus. I mean, it's such a leg up for.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
And it's great, those are all paid positions, right? So you can be working through college. You're going to get paid to be able to do that as a side job, which
I think that's pretty cool.
much better than working in a library or something like
Exactly.
that, right?
Now all you need is the pyrotechnics, but that'll come next year.
Right.
Yeah. After Chapel's gone. He
Bummer.
delivers them on the field now, so we don't have to worry about that.
Oh yeah. But yeah. Any other questions?
No, I don't really, can't even think of any.
I mean, you've been coaching the Nicolay players for a while. Has there been like an increase in morale or like an increase in like the camaraderie between the teammates because of this new field or because of the new equipment?
Yeah, I mean, this is year 25 for me for being around Nicolay athletics. You see, he can't even stop, right? So yeah, I think there's any new thing that you get, right? So I've seen the track redone twice, and it's like the new feeling of things and the new level of excitement. I think this has taken it even more, right? So and it's brought everybody in, the entire school. Everyone, I guess, is they're proud of what they have, and I think that's something that was always lacking with Nicolay, is that they're proud in their school. And I think with the new renovations, the new fields, I just see a lot of pride and ownership in athletics, right? So you have a great field, you want to play well, like you want to do well on that field. So most definitely, I've seen a rise in school spirit overall. Is definitely.
Do you feel like with having all the new stuff, like maybe the enrollment numbers may go up a little bit or anything of that sort?
100%, right? So you drive by on the highway and you see these fields. That outside,
Right,
type
okay,
thing
yeah.
is like, hey, this is something I want to look at, right? And we have a unique kind of marketing aspect of being right off of 43, where a ton of people drive by and they see that. Then they start coming in. They seeing, once these labs get put back together and
Right.
all those different things, that's going to drive enrollment, right? And I think Nicolay is ripe for growth in the area. And it's we now have state of the art facilities in everything from from all these areas, the tech areas, to sports, to science labs. They're all going to be brand new, which is
Right.
going to be great.
How high do you think the enrollment numbers will get at? Because we're at like what, 1,100 now?
1,100.
Yeah. How high do you think it could get?
Good. I mean, when I first started here, it was like 1,400, right? So an additional 300 kids, that's a lot of kids if it could go that high. I mean, it's all dependent, but I think the classes that are coming up are remaining to be around 270. I think we're 272. Your class is 272.
Yeah.
So we'd like to keep it at that 270 to 300 would be great.
Is our district able to deny kids who live in the district?
No.
Oh, so.
Yeah. So like if you live inside of the district, you can attend Nicolay.
Oh, okay. Because I was just thinking, like, if we reach that cap number, like, is there some kids who just can't come here? Or?
No, I mean there is no cap, right? So we have plenty of space. This school was designed to fit, I think, like 1,800 to 2,000. It used to be really big in the 50s and 60s. So we have the space and we have the availability.
Okay.
We have we have our class sizes are really low in comparison to other
Right,
school
yeah.
districts, right? So we have the infrastructure to be able to handle many more kids.
Kind of touching back on the whole like marketing type thing. When I was like on the field, you'd see even planes that go by, and like these general aviation planes that go by, they'd go right over the stadium, and when you see the stadium from like the sky with all the lights and stuff, it really draws the eye. It's like almost like an eyesore. You're drawn to it,
Yeah.
which is another pretty cool aspect.
That's been it. I don't know if there's flight patterns that have changed or what, but I haven't seen this many planes going.
Yeah,
But
there's-
it just seems like there's been a ton in the game.
Yeah.
It's funny you mentioned that. I was thinking the same thing last Friday night. It's like there's a lot of planes that go.
I was thinking that during practice. There was 3 of them in one practice that flew over. It was weird.
Yeah, I don't know if flight patterns have changed or what, but it's cool to see. Yeah, there's a lot of marketing that goes into it. I mean, the people that live in this district support Nicolay, which is great. I mean, they didn't blink at a referendum, right?
Right.
And they know and value education. So it's why my kids go here. It's why I've worked here for as long as I've been here.
Yeah.
And they value education in all levels, right?
All right. Well, I feel like that pretty much covers it. Thank you so much for coming on here.
Thank you. Yeah.
Um,
I know we're missing one, but sucks.
Yeah, Ben has to do it. Ben has to do it, apparently.
Right.
I
Yeah.
mean, you got to stay academically fit if you're going to be
The
on the
O
team.
show has to get his summative done. The O show.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Mr. McKenna.
Thank
You
you,
bet.
Mr. McKenna.
All right. There you go.